Right there, welcome back to another episode of Loose Lips with Liku. Now, another guest that I've come on. I've only started to know this man very recently. So I've obviously seen him play for various clubs he's played for, and we were at my workplace. This man walks in all suited and booted, and as he's going on a bit of a tour of my school, he just gave me the kind of rugby league nod of approval, shall we say. I think he knew that he must be a rugby league lad. He must be a rugby lad. I know him from somewhere. And then we just hit it off from there. We keep in contact constantly, and we all have a bit of a laugh and a joke when we're at each other's school, saying we're in enemy territory. So my guest tonight is one only Mr. Matty Costello. How you doing, Matty lad?
Yeah, good mate. Good to be on. Good to not do many of these, but since Liku asked, I thought I'd get in, give it a go.
What a man! What a man!
Bang on as well. Enemy territory was the final one. When we beat you last. I think.
Don't start. That then I'm gonna have to drag it on. I'm only just suppressed it. Only just suppressed it, lad. Leave me be. How have you been, Matty?
Yeah,
I know we were just talking off camera, but you've got a bit of an injury at the minute.
Yeah. I've just got a fracture in my wrist. I've had a bit of problem with my hands this year. Luckily, Barrow, we're not in the relegation zone, but we're not in the playoffs either. So me and the coach just decided it's leave it for the rest of this year, get ready for next year. No point making it any worse. So just getting ready to go for next year now, really, mate. That's it.
Love it. Because we faced against each other this year in the Challenge Cup. Again, got the better of me again. But let's just leave that to one side, shall we?
Yeah, that was a belter. That was a good way to start the season, anyway. But it was good to see you.
It was a good way for you boys, yeah. Real good training, yeah. But no, we've kept in contact since, and obviously we worked really close, and we've obviously worked really close. And when you were at my place, so no, I'm glad you're on the pod, and I know obviously that you say you've never done many of these, but I'm glad you've come on, mate. I really am.
No problem. Cheers, pal.
Right then, let's get into it then. Matty Costello as a kid, how was he? What was he like? That year 7 starting.
Year 7. Year 7, I was just your typical sort of Wigan, St Helens, rugby obsessed sort of kid, really. Always on the streets, just about doing whatever, rugby ball in hand, knock and run, anything like that. That was just standard growing up. Always with my amateur team, which was Oral. We were always out together as boys, having fun, doing whatever. That was pretty much me all the way through, to be fair.
Love that. How would your teachers have described you then? Go on. What would they have said about Matty Costello?
You know what? I was good in school. I got good results in that. I was always messing about a bit, but never anything like. I was a bit daft, like, but a bit tame at the same time.
Like a proper rugby lad that had a bit in between the ears.
Yeah, we'll give it that. You might have a different opinion. I don't know, but that's what I think I was like. You know.
I'm glad you said that. Riddy was giving you a bit of stick when I had Riddy on the pod. He said, I mentioned you were a teacher now, and he went, no, cause he's definitely not a teacher. I went, I'm telling you, that boy is a good teacher.
Yeah, that's. I seen you had Greg on as well as Riddy, but I was only a young lad when I knew them at least. So it was literally like keep my mouth shut. And when I did say something, they're all pissing themselves. I was like, oh no, what was that? I kept it quiet. I used to stay out on the wing with Johnny Pownall, and they used to call us space cadets and that all the time.
Space cadets, you and Johnny Pownall.
Have a laugh, do me work. They can think what they want.
I love it, mate. But yeah, I know the lad that obviously, and then you've left. Once you left school, we'll go on to your rugby a little bit later on. But what were your favourite lessons? Like, was there obviously, and I think with most guests I've had on, it's been PE. But was there any that kind of people might be shocked at? I think, oh, I didn't really think he'd like that.
Yeah, no, I quite like school, to be honest, and learning. And like I said, I got some good results at the end of it. I just don't really transfer it to life as well. So might seem a bit like I'm not bothered about it, but I was quite bothered. And I took it quite seriously at school. And I like my maths, my English, stuff like that. But obviously, I love PE. But on the whole, I enjoyed school, and I went to a school, obviously St. Peter's, where if you didn't like your learning and stuff, you were gone. So it's quite suited, really. I think the school like instilled that in me, to be fair.
No, and I think it's sounded a bit similar to me, like when I were over at Bedford, in terms of if you didn't enjoy your learning, you didn't really fit in. And like I said, you had like your rugby lads and your footy lads, and we all had the laugh and the jokes. But I think I don't know about you, but we always were in the case of, it's when you know you need to work, you work, and when it's time to have a laugh, and you could have that rapport with teachers. Like I think obviously, like I know I do now, hopefully, and then I know when you were at our place, a lot of the students kind of related to yourself. They still talk about you now. Like I've still got students come up to me saying, "Oh, how's Mr. Costello doing? How's he doing over at that our enemies and all the rest of it?" But is there anyone who you had that link with, like a teacher-wise, and just think, you know what, he proper inspired me, or she proper inspired me to crack on and kind of be successful?
Yeah, to be fair, like across the school, there was loads of teachers like that were just relatable, and just sound, really. That's what you need in a teacher, isn't it? And I think that was why it was such a good place to be. Really, it was a little bit strict at times, but there was a lot of teachers that were just happy for you to be there and made it a nice place to be. So it was always enjoyable school, especially the PE department. Obviously, spent a lot of time with them. I think it was Mr. Pollitt and Ashton and Santos. They were great teachers, and yeah, just made secondary life really good, to be fair.
No, I love that. And I think especially as rugby lads, we always have that link to our PE teachers, and I know I always speak highly of mine, and like they kind of set you up, and the discipline that we've obviously been instilled with, like, kind of feeds into everyday life without even thinking about it.
Yeah, you're right. They give you like an early mold and like a bit of direction, don't they? Your PE teachers, sort of, even though you don't realise at the time, they sort of give you a bit of guidance and get you to a certain way. And obviously, like you said, we try and do that with our teaching. I'm the same as you. And I just feel like it helps your relationship with your students, and obviously later in life they'll see that as well, hopefully, like we have.
Yeah, 100%, massive. And I think obviously, and I think it obviously is that kind of sporting background we have, and kind of the rugby element of it. We're huge on the relationship side of things. I know Greg, when I spoke to Greg about teaching, he said the exact same, that relationships are the kind of, if we have that kind of good bond with the students, they'll want to learn for you. I know from where you speak about the guys at St. Peter's, they were obviously massive in that and letting you enjoy learning.
Yeah, 100%. 100% agree with you. I think that's the main thing. Obviously, if you don't like someone, you're going to think, "Oh, I'm not doing that for him." So, best thing you can do is try and get them on your side first. And I felt like at St. Peter's, it was always like that. There was never really teachers you didn't want to do things for. So that was why I enjoyed my education, I think, which I don't mind now.
I love that.
Not been too bad.
It's not too bad. We have our days, we have our ups and downs, but that's education, isn't
it? Yeah.
So, St. Helens, obviously that's where you started kind of your professional journey. Is that where you went to through the academy systems and through the scholarships, or was it just always St. Helens?
Yeah, it was always St. Helens. I was I did a Wigan schoolboys when it was, back in the day, like year 7, 6, I think it was. When you did the trials and stuff, only because Saints didn't have one. And then from 14, I think I was at Saints until I was 22. I think I left there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was me as a kid. My dream wasn't to be a rugby player. It was just to play for Saints. And luckily I got to do that quite a few times. So
yeah, and like I say, I think you had some brilliant coaches around that time as well. Is there anyone that kind of following on from that mould of the relationship with teachers, anybody that kind of followed that as well within the Saints coaching staff?
Yeah, 100%. Justin Albert was my first full-time coach, who obviously his record speaks for itself, and he was a great bloke. He was just such a nice fella. Took you under his wing, taught you everything. If you made mistakes, it was fine. And really like helped you with your transition up to first team. Obviously in academy we had Derek Trainer first, who obviously he was really good in setting us up for what we needed. After that we had Christian Wolf, who's at the Dolphins now as well. So we had some really good coaches while I was at St. Helens. Both like completely different coaches, but both good at what they did.
Yeah, and you could see that, and like you said, the record speaks for itself. And then obviously did like times over at Sheffield, and like I said, we're good friends that we have mutual friends over at Lee.
Yeah.
Again, those loans would have been to learn and to kind of apply your trade and get you used to that kind of that first team scenario, as it were.
Yeah. So we had loads of dual reg teams when we were at Saints, obviously with Lee and Sheffield. And they were just unreal, to be fair. The first year I went with Sheffield, I played about 20 games with them, just to get used to how rugby was. And they were bottom 2 in the championship the whole year. And but we had a really good crew of young lads going playing from every week. At the time, it was like myself, James Bentley, Matty Lees, Jack Ashworth, Jake Spedding, Josh Eves, Adam Swift played a few games. So we had a really good crew from Saints going. Just young lads who wanted to like rip in and sort of make the name for it. And we ended up surviving, I think, on the last day or second to last game or something. And that was just massive. It was class. Just to be like at one end of the spectrum with Saints, obviously winning like, I think it was 5 in a row we won in the end. I wasn't there for the whole 5, but that was like that type of environment.
Yeah, that dynasty almost.
Yeah, to then be at the bottom end of it and fighting to stay in the championship, it was completely different places. But I feel like it's served me well, like moving forward.
Yeah, 100%.
Used to different environments and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then like I say, your time over at Lee, obviously my hometown, and obviously we spoke about Riddy and Greg, and like we mentioned off camera kind of the laugh and the kind of enjoyment you had through that. Was that a kind of an experience that elevated not only your playing, but your kind of love for the game as well, being around that group of players, or a different group of players? Sorry.
Yeah, that was the year after that Lee, the Lee deal after the Sheffield one. So again, that was like we'd moved up a level, and it was sort of like the same group really that had moved from like Sheffield dual reg to Lee dual reg, and then the lads at Lee were class. It was a good laugh all that year. Coach was great, John Duffy as well. And yeah, so we were like competing at the top the year after. So it was like another little step up for us.
Yeah.
At the same time, getting a few sprinkles of games at Saints as well as with Lee. So it just married really well to like take those steps and keep going.
Kind of almost running parallel in terms of season. So Lee doing quite well, Saints doing quite well, and you switch over. Was obviously a difference in terms of the jump up from Championship to the Super League, but being in the same scenario probably did put you in good stead. Am I right in saying Luke Douglas played a couple of games as well?
Yeah, Luke Dougie played a few, which was massive. He's like NRL legend.
That's what I mean. He was like, he set a record, didn't he, for like the most consecutive NRL games? Yeah. It was mad.
He turned out a few games for Lee. You know what? I think he scored off a grubber or something. I'm sure he did something mad.
You know what? I'm sure something was put out there about that.
Yeah, he's a class bloke, Dougie, though. He's just quiet as they come. I've not seen him on social media for years now. Don't know what he's doing in a bush somewhere in Australia.
Yeah, sorting the Aussies out as he would. But then, obviously, once you've done your time at Saints, it's over to Salford now. We'll not talk about Salford and where they're at now. Currently, I think I don't know what the score is, but obviously your time at Salford is very different to those that are experiencing it now. What were your thoughts about being at quite a big club in terms of Salford?
Yeah, well, Yeah, the year I joined, we it was a bit of an unknown. They'd finished like mid-table the year before, and we had quite a tough year the first year I was here. We had Rich Marshall in. Things just didn't really go our way. And then after that, we had Paul Rowley, and then obviously the whole thing changed. Really, he was unreal with us, Rowley. We played some like amazing shape, which got us into some really good positions. Obviously, I think we finished sixth the first year, fourth the second year. So it was clear to see like things were improving. Our squad was obviously really good. We had to sell some players at times. There was still some bit of money worries when I was there, of little rumours and stuff that you'd hear about players getting sold so we get paid. But we never actually didn't get paid, which is different to the group that's this year, which I can't really imagine how that is. Well, I can, because most of my mates are still there, and obviously been the best. But yeah, it's sad to see what's happened, because we were clearly improving. And yeah.
And it shows now how good of a coach Paul Rowley is in terms of what he's doing now on the field with players that he probably isn't. He never ever thought he'd have, and loanees coming in and young lads that. But like you said, when you said you were at Sheffield, the young lads are coming in and just giving it a go, ripping in, and I think you've obviously played on the roles a lot longer than I did, but he wants that. He wants young lads to just rip in and get going, and almost like you said, make a name for yourself.
Yeah, well, as we've seen, then lads who've gone in there, their games have probably gone up 10-20% by what he's saying to them, how he's making them feel about their game. And I feel like he always did that with our squad. We always turned up for big games and competed with like teams on like double our budget or whatever it was. And yeah, I think that's something he's really, really good at.
No, he is, and he's a really good man manager as well. I always thought that. But yeah, then you end up. I think you did a bit of a loan at Barrow, and then now here you are at Barrow.
Yeah.
Full time. How do you? And I know we spoke before, and you love the fact of you love Barrow, and obviously, do you want to allude on that, because you obviously live it week on week?
Yeah. No. Yeah. So it was just a bit of a crossroads. I was out of contract with Salford. I was still discussing deals with Salford and everything, bit of to and fro-ing about money and stuff like that. And then it came to, that was from May, and it came to like October. So we're right at the end of the season, and we'd still not come to an agreement with Salford. And then Ian Blease just came back to me, and he said, we need the money to sign a middle now. So I was like, right, okay, that's fine. I'll have to find something else. I'll see what's going on. But already in that year, I'd been to Barrow, so my first port of call really, it was straight to Paul Rowley, because they tried to sign me the year before on a full time and get me to move up to Barrow, but I was obviously I fancied staying in Wigan. Yeah, so just at the end of the year, I just give him a ring. I was speaking to a few clubs as well at the time. There was York was one. There was a few other clubs I was speaking to, and I just like the feel of the place when I was there. Obviously, people look at it and they think there's not much going on there with the facilities and what it is, but it's just like it's just a real nice place to be and to go and do your work and to graft. And all the lads that were there at the time were staying on a bit longer deals, so it made sense for me. And I've made friends there that are friends, not just rugby acquaintances. So it just made sense to me. I love the place. I love playing for Barrow. Yeah, and I've got another year there next year as well. Carry on.
So I've got a Barrow holds a special place in my heart as well, because my old man played for Barrow.
Oh, did it? I thought you were going to say the Challenge Cup.
Oh no! Well, you missed it because the Wigan bus had gone. They made me get up on the stage at the end of the game and start talking about the game itself, and they said there's a link between this young man and the Barrow Raiders. His dad, Tyler Q, used to play here. He played 4 seasons here. How do you think of the game today?
I bet all them old Barrow fans were cheering. They'll remember.
Yeah, they would. Honestly, one of them come up to me. I was getting warmed up just before I came on for my first stint, and he went, "Lovely to see you, lad. You've grown up since I last saw you." I went, "I know I have." And then my old man and my mum came down and went and sat with my missus in the main stand, and he was like, "People were noticing him." I'm like, "Oi,
Yeah.
main man's on field."
It's there everything up there, that the rugby club.
It is.
It's like football and rugby flips on its head.
It's
Yeah.
culture in it. It's not
Yeah,
but it's like Cumbrians, and I know when I spoke to Greg, it's literally if you go to Whitehaven, it's all about Whitehaven. If you go to Workington, it's all about Workington. Barrow is all about Barrow, and it's like they work their 9 to 5 job to go and watch you boys on a Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, and they're all mad. They love it.
They're all bonkers, but they're all brilliant, and it's teams like that in rugby league that you need to sustain and keep hold of.
Yeah, 100%. They're like core fans. It's refreshing, and it's good to see. Like when we play like Whitehaven or Workington, and it's our derby. We drive an hour and 20 on the bus, but it's a derby because it's in Cumbria, and they're all like Cumbrian proud. And you get there, they're still like throwing stuff at each other, trying to scrap everything, and it's unreal to play it and to see. It's funny.
Yeah, and like I say, I know when we played against each other in the South Cup, it was just like, even though it was an amateur team from Warrington in the second round, there's still 800 people that turned out. First week, third week in January, 800 people have turned out from Barrow. We've brought 50 down from Warrington from Warrington on the coach. Extra 800 fans are just stood around and they're looking at us going, I can hear them all going, "Yes, well done, Barrow." Like, come on.
I know. That's
walking through us here.
That's Barrow.
And then it didn't help as well. He'll not mind me saying this. Danny Walker getting into Brad Walker about, like, who's going to get you? Well, you can't even breathe. Never mind, get hold of him.
I know, he's had a set on the field, he weren't breathing.
I know. Was this true as well? So I played against Maryport the week before, and I'd basically somewhere managed to break through, scooped up the ball from a short kickoff and try assist one of my mates. Danny Walker apparently sent it to Brad Walker. It's ended up in your WhatsApp group.
Yeah, it did actually. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, for God's sake! So no wonder I've got Josh Ward running past me going, "Hey, what are you gonna do now?" Nothing. I'm breathing out my backside here, lad.
Oh no. Good game though, wasn't it?
It was. It was brilliant.
For us.
Yeah, what time Crossfield's kicking off? Every 2 minutes. Brilliant, yeah. But no, honestly, it was good. It was good laughing. Like I said, we caught up after the game, and yeah, it's just. Then I went in on the Monday. Kids were all like, "Oh, how did you go against Barrow? How do you think we went on?"
Well.
We won 25-24. What do you think happened?
Hopefully we get another redraw this year. We'll see what happens.
Oh, yeah, brilliant. You come to our place this time.
I have been watching my brother there a few times. It gets quite hostile there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Our fans can give it, don't you?
I don't fancy them changing rooms either, actually.
Oh, yeah. Freezing. But yeah, your rugby, obviously, and you can see you loving the rugby at the minute. And we started to touch a little bit on the teaching. How did you get into it? That's what I'm thinking. Because obviously you've gone through professional clubs and all the rest of it. What was your thought process to get into teaching?
I'd already done a degree in sports and exercise science, part-time with me rugby. I did that at night with Josh Eves. And then I just was looking at what I could do with it, really. And I didn't really fancy getting into physio. I didn't really fancy getting into S&C. And one thing that came up was PE teaching. And then I was already coaching at the time. I'd coached my brother's team from like under 8s to under 15s, I think. So yeah, I'd already worked with like younger kids really, and different age groups. Obviously, seeing them get through the different ones. And I was at Barrow, and I just thought I'd give teaching a go. and see how it is. And obviously, then I came to your school, did a little bit there, did like 6 months there, really enjoyed it there, loved it. And while I was there, I applied to a teaching, like full-time program thing, and that was to specialise teaching science. So that's my teaching PGCs in science.
Because that sounds a bit like what I did. So I was going in, I was with cover supervisor, a bit like you did, but I was internal. And then I got asked one day, what lessons do you want to teach? I said, I'd love to teach PE. But they didn't actually do like a program like what you're talking about. And that's how I ended up in maths. So I did mine during the COVID year.
Oh, did you? All online?
Yeah.
Like?
All online and like in bubbles, and we started going drip feeding back into school, and you have to stay in a box by your desk and all the rest of it. But then it was a bursary, so I then obviously it was like one of them like train as you earn.
Yeah. That was the thing with me. Luckily, I obviously had my barra salary, so it wasn't the first period. I was just having a minute, decide what I wanted to do, but then after I decided to do the science thing, it was because that obviously it came with a bit of money as well, which was needed. Got to pay the mortgage, haven't we?
Yeah, it's the bursary, innit? And then because I was always asked what would my second subject be. Now mine was always going to be maths after PE because I was half decent at school. I did all right. I passed in year 10, and then I did A level in year 11, but I fobbed it off because John Duffy had said I can go and sign for Lee and Paul Rowley. I go and sign for our 16s. I was like, all right, sound. I don't have to do this.
Correct choice as well.
Oh, mate, 100%. I remember, and this is no word of lie, I've said it on the pod before, I was goal kicking at LSV.
Yeah.
Mate, I'd just been released from Sale. Sale had fobbed me off. He said, you're not big enough. Play number 8. I was like, all right, sound brilliant. So during GCSEs, I went goal kicking just to calm me down. It was like my thing to relax. My granddad always said, just be a goal kicker. It's much easier. You look good as well. That's always my granddad's words. And the next minute, Paul Rowley walks over, just as Lee, because they were part-time in 2012. He goes, what are you doing at minute? I says, no, I'm not doing it. I've just been released from Sale. He says, like, fob them off. You're going to come and sign for our 16s. So then Duffy came and watched me with my dad, and they went, right, I'm going to ring your dad. Are we going to come in?
Oh, class. Where was that playing at? Minors or?
No, mate, I was playing rugby union at the time. It was all rugby union.
Was you?
Yeah. So
what was that?
I signed at 13 at Sale. Played all the way through, playing like Leicester and Worcester and like.
Right, is that what they do? So young.
Yeah. So then I then went through that period, and then I got dropped at 16.
Did you?
So I got dropped literally a week or two before my GCSEs.
Wow.
Won't mind, I scored in the trial game as well. I actually did something right for once and scored. And then they just went. Literally, I was like, my head fell right off.
I'm not surprised right before GCSEs as well.
Because
that's the end of their season, though, isn't it? Then.
Yeah. But they were saying like, we'll progress you, do this, do that, and because one lad who was playing at England because he was 6'3", 6'4" in my position, I got told that if you do this, you'll if you were this height now, you'd be playing for England. I was like, oh mate, don't tell me that.
Well, that's what you need.
Well, exactly. So I'm driving home with my dad. My head's through the floor. My dad's going, because he said, go up to our college in Preston. My dad went, you're not going there, lad. You're not going there. What's the point? Yeah, then literally on LSV on the pitch, you know the pitch out between Lee East and the stadium. It's now
the training pitch.
Yeah, the training pitch.
Yeah.
Anybody could go on there who used to be able to. It's now Man United women. So
is it locked up now?
Yeah, they've locked it up now. It's got it's for Man United women.
All right, cool.
So obviously the goalposts from there. So I should go me and thought, you know what? Nobody will find me. I'll just go and ping a few. And they must have seen me ping a few and just went, Rolls just went, yeah, Duffs will ring your dad. Get in. I was literally like a couple of days later, I'd signed.
Oh my god, how good's that?
It was mega. And then like after that, it just went, it kind of snowballed into like going, you're going to 18s, smallest one up pitch. like unfit as hell. Stuart Whitley just went, go back playing amateur and come back in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Next minute, come back. It was like, mate, this is mega.
That's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's like I said, Greg and Riddy proper looked after me as a young one because Riddy used to like run errands for my dad.
Oh, did it?
Mate, when my dad first came over from Tonga, he used to run errands for him because he used to live next door to him.
A slave then.
Slave. Proper slave. But yeah, like it was mental, like, and then obviously I finished at Crusaders, me, and I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. Like, I've never thought about it. But I'd done PE teaching through my degree.
Right, okay.
And then
how did you get your maths then, just from your GCSE?
So what they said to, because I'm like you, Ash, so I got my degree in sports, PE and school sports.
Yeah.
So then he basically turned around to me and when the guy who asked me, he said, have you got a degree? Yeah, tick. Have you got a maths GCSE at grade C or above? Went, yeah, tick. Have you did maths at A level? Went, no, I only did sport when I left school. He went, right, do me a favour, do a subject knowledge enhancement course.
Ah, right, okay. Yeah, because you got your school thing anyway, really, from that. Oh, that worked out well then, didn't it?
So I did that, and literally it was like I had to do it every week for 12 weeks because it was full time.
Yeah.
And as soon as I ticked it off, and it gave me basically a certificate saying, "Oh, you can do it."
Yeah, that was the same with me with the science course because obviously I'd done sport and exercise science, which is only a little bit of biology, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
So I had to do physics and chemistry, like refresher course top ups.
Yes.
That was hard work, Jesus.
I know. It's hard work when you're trying to, and then
really
what you think you know, and you try and remember from school, nothing to do with what they want about, and you're like, oh, this is it for me. And then
you get about 20 back, and then you're like, oh god, what's this? Never seen this in my life.
I know. But then, like I say, now you're in grade school, you're at in obviously in St Helens, and how you fight, like, what do you love about teaching now?
I love the staff I work with. It's a great place to work. I love building them relationships with the kids that I teach as well, and obviously being like adaptive to the different like people that you meet. Obviously, you meet kids at the youngest stage of their lives, the hardest stage of their lives for a lot of them. It's just good to see little bits where you can help them out and seeing them like change and for the better and stuff like that. It's really rewarding, as you'll probably know as well. And obviously you get the great crack with especially sports coaching. I would never not take a rugby team or something because the relationships you build and stuff. They see a different side to you. You get to see them doing the thing they love as well, which is good, and you can get to good things like we got in the town final last year. And obviously it's a great day out, isn't it?
We always have like. Because when you're in the classroom, obviously you use science and maths. They see you in that. They see in your shirt and tie, and they think, right, he's just. And I don't know if students have this perception. I hope they don't have of ourselves, but they think because you're in a suit and tie, you're just a bit of a robot, and you're a bit like rigid and. But when they see you, like say, when you take a sports team or you do an enrichment club, they see you in a different light, and almost I always feel like I can relax a little bit.
Yeah,
because like when we take a rugby team, I'm in my own domain. I know what I'm talking about, and I know that the kids are going to listen to me. Yeah.
Obviously, there's them little bits of behaviour stuff in class, which you're always going to have.
Yeah.
Which is always going to go on, but I just like to keep my classrooms quite chilled as well. I've seen yours as well. It's the same. You have the same good relationships in your class, and it's just.
Yeah, and it's like that, like we said earlier on, it's the relationships you build early on, and like the kids want to get to know you, especially obviously because you've got your rugby background. Like obviously, when you were at our place, it was all about Saints. Like, oh, have you seen that new teacher who played at Saints?
Yeah,
and I was like, yeah, I know who he is. Don't you worry. We've had, and the kids were like, oh, Mr. Costello, yeah. What's he like? I was like, yeah, he's a sound bloke. Yeah, like we have that rugby league approval, guys. We know. We have that link of rugby league, and it's just like they want to obviously. And I think when you have that buy-in, they want to get to know you and they want to know what you're about and they want to know how, like, they are interested in. That's what kids are like, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. They're always showing me on Google and whatever.
Oh yeah, I get it all the time. Like, oh, sir, you're on Google. Some of them turn around to me, sir, I didn't realise you actually played rugby. Like, yeah, I did play on these sports first. Like, I'm not some mug. Like, that is me. I'm just a bit bigger and a bit more of a beard.
No, with the teacher though, like with science especially, obviously, because I've just had to do my course to refresh, and I feel like you sort of get at them. You might be the same with your maths, because I feel like if you take your specialist and you go so far with your degree, you assume that the kids know everything that you know. And I don't have that, because obviously I've not been to like a chemistry depth, physics depth, so I've just worked hard and I feel like sometimes I'm sort of working with them to like get through sort of like obviously the more advanced stuff, you're working with them so you can understand how they're sort of processing it a bit more.
Yeah, I completely get where you're coming from, because I'm like that. I am exactly like that with maths. So I'm kind of, obviously I did well at school, as obviously you did in science, but you kind of, it's not what you know that you need to get, it's how you present it, how you teach it. Like some of the stuff I did in high school, I would never teach how to do it for my year 9s or my year 11s, because the way they take it in and the way they do things is obviously, it needs to be beneficial for everyone, not just kind of a one glove fits all type of teaching.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing. Like looking across, like even across your sets, one set up or down, it's like you've got to teach it completely different.
Yeah, and you vary how you teach it, because, like you said, it depends who you've got in front of you. If I always describe it as my year 10 class last year. They were awesome. Like they were in year 11 now. They were brilliant, and they just kind of cracked on. They knew. But then if I was teaching, say, something to my year 8s, it's the way you teach it's completely different. And
it's mad, isn't it? It's mad.
It is mad. And you're almost like, I don't know about you, and I say this with the utmost respect, but as you're not just a teacher, are you? You're kind of everything. You're a teacher, you're a social worker, you're an in-house parent sometimes, you're a police officer.
100%. I feel like you're a performer more than anything, because you've got to get it going so they listen to you.
Yes, you kind of
time actor.
Yeah, like you kind of take your personal hat off and you put your teaching one on, and you become like this performer. That
greatest showman.
Yeah, you are. Innit? It's mad. I'm glad somebody else thinks like this, because I think the exact same. I think I'm generally P.T. Barnum, just all guns blazing.
Yeah.
Elephants walking through and all singing, all dancing, and then you're like, but they love it. Like,
yeah, got to do it on you.
Yeah, but I've done it now in my exit routine. I've started putting in a song on now for my exit routine.
Every lesson?
Mate, every lesson, the kids love it. I put on, first time I did it, I put Oasis on. They were listening to Oasis while I was packing up. I just went, pack up. Show me how you pack up. You've got till the end of this Oasis song.
Buzzing. I'm robbing that.
Oh, mate, honestly, boom, clean. I went, are you done? And when they're done, I said, right, if you finish, stand behind your chairs. And then, like, pause it, done. And I have a quick scan. Nah, not done yet. Play it again. Honestly, mate, it's weird, like, but something so stupid simple has decided to work. I'm not doing it with all my classes yet, but my 7s and my 11s love it.
Yeah,
no 11s. Like playing a bit of Jamie Webster this place today.
Oh yes, love that.
Telling you, I said wait till I crack out Spice Girls tomorrow. But it's like, it's little niches in it that when you kind of get the kids on side, they know what you're about. Like some of the kids copy me on what I say. Like I had one of them, because it was towards the end of a term. And I caught them, so I had a chat with them in the lesson. They went, "We're playing Mr. Liku Bingo." please, Liku bingo. What do you mean? And then, so everything you said, we just take off because we knew you were going to say it. But it's just one of them, isn't it? That's what kids do. They pick up on. They are like sponges. It's mad.
Yeah, little nuances and that.
Yeah,
I'll let it go if that comes.
Oh yeah, do you know what I said? Do you know what I said? Fair play to you. It's end of term, but don't do it again for me.
Yeah, will do.
Oh mate, love it. But yeah, it's one of them in it that I think it's weird unless you're actually in education. People don't understand what it's about. People don't understand this kind of unconditional joy we have for it, even though sometimes we can have them days where it's like, mate, I really can't be bothered today. Like, I've something might be happening, or you've hit a lull and you're just, not today. But then there's just something about teaching.
So many people say it to like just lads that I play with or lads that I've played with, like, you're a teacher. Like, how are you teaching? I'm just like, don't know how I am, but I'm loving it. It's going all right. So.
But yeah, Thingy did it as well. Danny Walker did it when he was coaching me at Crossfields. He said, "What do you do at the job, Liku?" I said, "I'm a teacher." He went, "No, you're not." I am. He was shocked. He said, "What do you teach?" I went, "Maths." He went, "You're a clever bugger then, aren't you?" I went, "Yeah, mate, I am actually." I'll back myself here.
Take all the credit.
I am quite clever. But no, honestly, like, people don't understand, and I think we were having a laugh and a joke when we were trying to organise this, that it's been manic since we've come back, hasn't it? And like, we've been both panicking like mad because even though we've had inset days to get ourselves ready, you can never be ready.
No, never. We've come back as well. We got all new systems, new timetables.
Yeah.
Time of days changed and everything. All your logins have gone. You can't get onto your stuff. You're thinking, oh my God, I've got class and we've got 2 hours left at work. I've not even planned it. And it's just mad the first few weeks, isn't it? But once you get back in,
it's like you've never been away.
I hope so.
I said to one of the lads, I said in our department, he said, how have you been? He's one of the older lads. How have you been today? I said, I feel like I've never been away. Like I'm back in, and all I'm hearing is Liku. Liku. Oh, all right, yeah. Oh, but yeah, honestly, like, and it just made me laugh out because I think, what was it? I got into because I remember you saying you have more holidays than the king. You do.
Oh yeah, I do.
That's how we planned this. That's how we got this plan for viewers listening. And that's how we do it. And we just have like just a jokey message and
straight on,
just straight on. And it's like, I know, and I've only known you for like the past 12 months, but I know what you're about as a bloke. I just went because I was with one of my mates, Regan at the time. I just said, I'm giving it him here. I said, like, what? You've had more holidays than King. You have.
You need it in them 6 weeks. Get reset in it.
Correct. So
I had the injury as well to me, and I thought, you know what? I'm not losing this opportunity. I'm having it.
Going every year and everywhere. I was like looking at his Instagram, going Barcelona. Like,
Ibiza, we'll take it.
What is he doing here? And that's where I remember messages saying, must be cheap flights from Barrow International Airport.
Yeah, that's a lot.
cheap seats. Get over to Ibiza.
No, it's whenever it's. I've got free time at all. Obviously, I have no kids or anything, so it's just Skyscanner. Cheapest return, wherever it is, we're off.
100%. And do you know what? It's the best way to be, especially them 6 weeks. And like I say, with your injury, utilise it, mate.
You're right.
Oh, mate, honestly, it's been class having a good catch up and having a good chat. So, last thing before I sign off for the viewers.
Let's go.
And then, 10 quick fire questions.
Okay, let's go.
So, I'm going to throw 10 random questions at you. I want first thing comes into your head. Yeah? Right then.
Go.
Number 1, sweet or savoury?
Savoury.
Go-to savoury, what is it?
What we're talking like?
Anything you want, savoury can be.
Go-to savoury, KFC, gotta be original recipe.
Oh yes, you like a Tongan, you? You'd fit well in with all my
Straight on
family.
the chicken drumsticks.
Correct. Number 2, best stadium you've played at.
A stadium. Oof. Anfield.
Yes. Was you Magic Weekend?
Magic Weekend, Anfield. Yeah, it was class. Last game on the Saturday.
Yes.
Really steep, full of fans. I played at Newcastle as well. That was good, but Anfield tops it. Dead steep. It feels like they're all on top here. It's mad.
Are you Liverpool?
No, I'm Wigan.
No, are you a Liverpool fan? Are you Latics?
Wigan fan, Latics fan.
You Latics? Love the ticks.
Yeah, you know that.
Yeah. Go-to karaoke song number 3.
Robbie Williams, rock DJ. Done it a few times, a few different events.
El Clasico.
Somewhere. Not good to say.
El Clasico, bit of Robbie. Right, one meal for the rest of your life. What is it? Question 4. One meal.
Steak, chips, garlic mushrooms.
Any sauce on your steak?
Ooh, Stilton.
Ooh, very nice. Very nice. How'd you have your steak?
Medium rare, of course.
Lovely. How it should be. Correct. I did that on my prom. I went medium rare on the steak, and all lads around me went, yeah, we'll go medium rare as well. Number 5, cats or dogs?
Dogs. Always had dogs.
Yeah, best way to be. Cats.
Can't be a man with a cat.
Correct. Imagine you walking around chilling with a cat.
No way.
Number 6, hero. This could be any walk of life, by the way. Don't just have to be rugby. Or if you have got
hero.
Rugby.
As I'd come when I was younger, it was always like it was Jamie Lyon. He was my hero. But as I got older, I realised like probably my dad. He's just an absolute grafter. Used to go to work on Saturdays extra while my mum took me to rugby. You know what? Both of them, mum and dad. Mum used to take me to rugby on Saturdays. Dad used to work, keep the family going and everything. And
Mate, love that. Love that. Right, then here's a tough one because I know you'll have played against some cracking players. Best player you've ever played against?
Against for me, I always say this: Bill Tupu for Wakefield centre.
Yes.
Maybe not the best player, but definitely the hardest. It was like my 4th or 5th game played in Wakefield away. And it was a team. The year he got
Dream Team, him and Tom Johnston.
Yeah, and he was unreal. I remember flying out to Italy. Everything I had, I was about 80 kilos, and it was just nothing, just like a fly. Boom. And all game, he was just relentless. I just remember coming off the field thinking, Jesus Christ.
Do you know what? It sounds stupid, but I feel like I remember. Did they win that game, Wakefield?
Wakey won us just about, yeah.
Yeah, it was like unknown that Wakey was like a 2-point win over Saints, and everyone was like, "What in the world?"
Yeah, I mean, I've played like some mad, like we played Sydney Roosters in the World Club Challenge, and I remember played on the wing. James Bentley was my centre, and it was Joey Manu and Brett Morris opposite us playing that year. But even after that, I always think back to that Bill Tupu game. I think, wow. Yeah.
He's just turned me inside out.
Yeah.
I'm going to put myself in a close second for them 10, 15
Yeah, you're up there. You're up there.
Oh, mate. Number 8, Back to the Future. Oh, sorry, Back to the Future, good film. Back in Time or Into the Future?
Got to say Into the Future. You can't be dwelling, thinking about that.
Never.
Although I would love to, but it's got to be look forward.
Always look forward, like it. Number 9, one piece of advice you live by, or one quote you live by.
I'm not really a quotes advice type of man. I don't know. I just take life as it comes, really.
Mate, I'll happily have that as a quote. Take life as it comes.
Yeah, that's it.
We'll take it. Right then, last one. One wish I could grant you. What would it be?
One wish you could grant me. Other than £1 million, it's one wish. You know what? My brother's sort of making his way up the ranks. I'd love to see my brother play a game for St. Helens as well.
No, love that.
I'll take that.
That's brilliant. Yeah, that's class. No, mate, what a lovely way to end this podcast. What a lovely way to end it, mate.
Emotional.
Emotional. We've got tears coming out of my eyes here, pal. Oh, mate, honestly, thank you for coming on. And like I said, we said at the beginning, I know you're not massive on doing this sort of stuff and being on these podcasts, but I'm glad you come on. And hopefully, like I said, people see a little bit more to you than just Matty Costello that's gone and like turn it up on the field. Like they see the passion for teaching as well, and I hope people come across and see that as well.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. It's been good.
Good, brilliant. So another episode of Loose Lips with Liku done and dusted. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Hopefully, like I say, like, subscribe, share it, do whatever you need to do. I will be announcing something very special that's quite close to my heart that we'll be doing in due course. So keep an eye on that. Okay. But from me, from Matty, thank you very much. Thank you for clicking, and I'll see you again soon.
See you, mate. Thank you.
Ta-ra.